Hi, my name is Chris Ramsey. I'm going to be racing the Race Across the West in June 2017 against my multiple sclerosis. And welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Well, thank you, Chris, for that introduction, and we'll be having Chris Ramsey on the OhioRAAM Show on March 19th. And this is a show about cycling and ultracycling, and I'm your host, Lee Kreider. This show airs on the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th of each month. And this is show number 142. I have to start off the show today with an apology to Google. I have said some unkind things about the lip syncing that has happened on the show, and Google does have a wee bit of a problem with syncing sometimes. However, I've discovered, and I have to confess, that the problem exists right here at this desk. It starts with my webcam and then winds up with the editing software that I use for the show. So Google, I'm sorry. Hopefully we have some software that will correct the problem. At least we hope so in the future. And the OhioRAAM Show comes to you because of the good efforts of the people at Time Stations 41 in Oxford, Ohio, Time Stations 42 in Blanchester, Ohio, Time Stations in the Race Across America. They do a wonderful job. They're open 24 hours a day during the time that the race is passing by. They're there for the racers, the staff, the crews, the officials, and particularly you, the fans. Great place to come and see the race if you live in the area at all. And we would invite you to put that on your calendar as the race comes by in June. We'll be saying more about that later. Today's show, we have our very first visit to the country of Norway with Johnny Stausholm, who will be racing as a solo racer in the Race Across America in 2017. Also joining us a little later in the show from Denmark will be his crew chief, Alan Bregendahl. So that said, let's get right on to Norway. With that, we're going over to Norway and Johnny Stausholm. Is that correct, Johnny?
Yes, it is.
And where are you located, Johnny? And
Located in a small village called Ålgård, and it's about 30 kilometers south from Stavanger, southwest of Norway.
And Johnny, I understand you are set up to do the Race Across America in 2017. Is that correct? In the age 50 to 59 category, according to my record here.
Yes.
This is as I said to you before we went on the air, this is the first time I've ever visited Norway with the OhioRAAM Show, and we're certainly glad to welcome another Scandinavian country into our family. So, Johnny, tell me a little about yourself.
I am Danish. Came to Norway in '86, and in 2000 I was involved in a car. 2001 I was involved in a car accident. And I got bad injuries, and so I had chronic pains, and I was medicated with strong medicine. I was really passive, 120 kilos also I was. And in 2009 I changed my life on my own. Changed the medicine with the bike, and the bike became my drugs. And since then, I went from 10 kilometers to now to do RAM about 7 years later, 8 years later. And in 2012, I was asked by one of my friends. He is from Kosovo, Ibrahim. He asked me if I wanted to join him to ride to Kosovo, to Peja in Kosovo. And immediately I said yes. It was a really hard trip. because I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep much, again because of my pains. But we did 3,400 kilometers in 21 days, and had all our luggage at the bike. So that was quite an experience. And now here, this summer, I qualified in Denmark at Melfart Extreme Melfart 24, and now I'm ready for OhioRAAM in 2017.
Okay, and let me clarify. You said you rode to Kosovo. Is that correct?
Yeah, from Norway. Well, this was a kind of an adventure, and it was no race. Before I went to Kosovo, I did some small races here near Stavanger, and it was short races and fast races. But when I was on my way down through Europe, I told Ibrahim that from now on, I have changed my way of riding. I just want to ride far, and I want to get out to see the world, and I want to ride farther than I ever had done, and ride hard as well. And when I came home from Kosovo, I was totally tired in both in my body and in my head, and for 2 months I wasn't myself. My girlfriend, Maybrit, she was really afraid of if I ever will be the old Johnny again. And one day I read the local newspaper here, and I read about a guy here from Stavanger, Jens Glad Balken. He was interviewed about cyclists. And there I saw RAM for the first time. I didn't know what RAM was at that time. So that was a wake up for me. And I told Maybrit to watch the newspaper here with me. And I had to explain her what it was. And when I told her that was a race across America, how far it was, and it should be done in less than 12 days, she looked at me and she said, "Don't even think about it," she said. And then, okay, I put away the newspaper. That was in October 2011. And in January 2012, I was visiting Jens, and we was talking about Race Across America for the first time. And then he introduced me for ultra cycling. And we started with 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, and that was really hard. So I have worked a lot. I work hard, all by myself, and had some good and bad experience. Also, I between then and now, I had 5 surgeries, because of some damages I have, and I didn't miss my focus at Race Across America. I think Race Across America, I live it, and that's my life now. And I won't stop thinking of it before I have that.
Okay, well, Johnny, before we went on the air, you had some interesting comments, and I'd like to get back to those about how you dealt with pain on the bicycle. What your ability to transfer from one kind of pain to another. You want to say something about that?
That's a kind of strange thing, I think, because sometimes I even have problems by feeling that it's very difficult to exist at all because of my pains. And then I grab my clothes and my bike and go out for a riding, and it hurts like hell. But when I've been riding for a short time, the old pains will disappear and new pains will appear. And that sort of the new pain is a sort of what do you call it, a drug for me, because I feel like a world champion every time I do this, because I can do it. So it's very difficult for me to explain it in English. I have pain every time I go out on my bike, but in some way I get friends with my pain. That's the only way I can explain it. And it helps me to remove focus and from the things that the pain from the ordinary day, and in the same time, when I'm riding, I just enjoy to the fresh air, and I just enjoy to move, and I just enjoy to feel the power in my legs, and I just enjoy to just work really, really hard. So yeah, that's me.
It just dawned on me how many people I've had on the show who come to cycling after some accident or some experience, illness or what have you, which propelled them into this crazy sport of ultra cycling. But well, Johnny, we are going to cross the strait there. I don't remember the name of the strait that goes across from Norway over to Denmark, and I want you to introduce me to your crew chief, who is over in somewhere in the middle of Denmark.
For about 1 year ago, 2 years ago, I didn't know Alan at all. Alan has been on a support team from Morten Kjærsgaard, who was riding and did RAAM 2016 this year. He has tried 2 times before, and this time he managed it. In 2014, Alan was in the crew with Morten.
Alan Bregendal, is that correct?
That's close enough.
So you have been crew chief or in a crew. Just rehearse that experience a little bit that you've done in the past with RAAM.
I crewed for Morten Kjærsgaard in 2014 RAAM, and I did race around Slovenia for him, both in 13 and 15. Yeah, I missed out this year because I had a baby daughter in January, so I chose to stay at home. Pretty bad timing because we almost finished in 14. Like we were like 140 miles from Annapolis when he quit. So
how much have you got a chance to work with Johnny actually out on the road or crewing or planning or what have you?
Nothing at all. It's well, we've talked a lot, and the actual like crew work will start here in the middle of November, where we'll meet up and have some crew seminars and like start the training and stuff like that. But we've been in contact and like planning stuff and working stuff out for a while now. I think from spring this year or something like that.
How do you have a crew now, Alan? You need crew members. How's it shaping up for you?
Well, just about. I think we're like aiming at 9 people crew. And we're up to like 6 now. I'm pretty confident that we'll be okay when we hit Oceanside next year. So there's no worries there. So you've been through it a couple of times. You kind of know what's coming. I actually haven't been through it. I need the last 140 miles. And the story about Morten is like, well, you know it. It's like a fairy tale come true that he actually managed to finish this year. So it's a great story. Yeah.
Okay, well, wish you well. Now back to Johnny here. Have you had any experience, or what do you have your plan for rest and recuperation, and how are you going to handle all that? Do you have any ideas, knowing that very well once you get started, it'll all change?
You see, in 2014, in 2014, there was a solo writer, I can't remember his name, an American. He wrote a book titled 1 Million Pedal Stroke. I've been reading this book a lot of times, and I like the way that he planned his race. I think I would plan to have about 18 or 19 hours per day at the bike, and have some breaks between, short breaks. And I will try to get sleep about 3 hours to 4 hours per day. That would be nice if I could manage that.
Are you going to be able to have any time here in the desert before this race starts? Get a little bit acclimatized. You don't probably have too much things in Norway that's like the California desert.
When I rode through Croatia, I was riding in 46 degrees. So, but Henning Larsen, you know Henning Larsen from Denmark.
Yes.
Yes, he wrote to me yesterday and asked me if I want to join him for training in the desert the week before start. I would like to do that, and now I'm searching for what you hvad hedder det her indpasset.
The ESTA. It's like a Visa Light.
Yeah. Now I'm sending a Visa Light, and when that is okay, and I am allowed to go to USA, then I order a room at the desert, and join Henning Larsen for the week before start.
In Borrego Springs, yeah.
Yes. I was really glad when Henning asked me, because this will be the 4th time Henning is joining RAAM, and he has a lot of experience, and
he does.
So I hope you want to share a lot of that with me.
Alan, before we close down here, tell me anything on your mind before we say goodbye that you'd like to share with this vast worldwide audience of ultracyclists. I think we have 6 viewers.
All right. do you know their names or? No.
Go ahead.
I think one of the main things that made me confident about this project was that Johnny is like, he's used to only sleeping 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and that's like the big issue for other RAAM riders is the sleep deprivation, the state the body comes into when you refuse it to sleep, and we're like over that point from day one, because Johnny is used to not sleeping that much, and he's an insane rider. I'm not like the big bicycle data kind of guy. I don't know much about like training and stuff like that, but I've seen his numbers and I've seen his qualifying times and stuff like that, and he's like an amazing rider, and I'm really confident about this, even though he has all odds against him. It's like the odds are still extremely good. I think I'm pretty confident about this project. He's a tough rider. He's a tough cookie.
Okay, tough cookie back in Norway there. You've been given quite an agenda there, quite an image to fulfill. We hope you do, and we wish you well. Anything you'd like to share with us before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I want to say, never give up, beat pain with pain. That's my slogan.
Never give up.
Never give up, beat pain with pain. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, guys, thanks for dropping in today. Thanks for taking your time out. We really appreciate it. We hope that we'll get to see you here in Ohio. If I'm not there at the time stations, there'll be some people who carry the banner for OhioRAAM there all the time, and we're just happy to have you with us. So long, Johnny. We'll see you in a bit. Alan, good luck. Keep him honest, will you?
Thank you. We will.
Okay, good enough. Okay, with that, we'll just say goodbye to you. Hang on here for a bit. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, Alan, for visiting with us today. We appreciate that a great deal. We wish you the best in the upcoming Race Across America 2017. We want to ask you to visit the website, OhioRAAMshow.com, where you'll find all of the 142 shows archived. You will find some links there that will help you follow the Race Across America. You'll find a place where you can leave your email address if you'd like to have notice of future shows. Nobody else will get those emails. They just stay here among us chickens. You will find a place where you can leave your comments, and we always enjoy having your comments. So be sure, if you're not watching the show on the website now, drop into OhioRAAMshow.com and see what we have waiting for you there. Thank all of you for watching the show. We thank you for the growth we see in our viewership of the show. That reflects on the fact that you people have been supporting us with your likes and shares on social media, which helps us a great deal. And as I say always, the reason for helping the show is to help the wonderful sport of ultracycling become better known. On the 17th of March, we'll see our next show, which will be the Rotary Team RAAM Polio, as they seek to fight polio and finally eradicate it from the face of the earth. And with that, we're going to say goodbye. See you in about 10 days.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.